Real quick, if you want to learn more about macronutrients and understand that methodology on how they can help you achieve your body composition goals of changing the way your body looks, I put together a free 15-minute training where I dive into macronutrients and how you can control your body for the rest of your life with them. That link is in the description below. Click on it after listening to the show today. Everybody wants to put their body into a microwave and bam, out in 30 seconds pops a toned body. It ain't gonna happen like that. What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Macro Hour with Nikki Stott, co-founder of WarriorBabe. And on this podcast, we talk about mindset, methodologies, and tactics that will help you lose body fat, build muscle, be strong, and feel insanely confident. I am your host, Nikki Stott, and welcome to today's episode number 94. I think this is going to be short, sweet, but to the point. I want to talk to you guys about detaching away from your fitness goals. And so in earlier podcasts, I think this was one of the first 3 that I did. I would highly encourage that you guys go back to listen to that. It's, I think episode number 2, forget about your goals, focus on the systems instead. It's somewhat a little bit about that today that I want to dive into, but it's more around like detaching away from your fitness goals. The systems, like the things that I share in that other podcast, are like, you got to focus on the systems, man. You got to focus on, like, if you want to get to X result, what are the things, like backtracking from that you got to put into place right now and that you have to be consistent with, right? Forget about the end state goal. What are things that are can be systematized, right? Getting your workout schedule done and being consistent with it. Staying hydrated and drinking your water daily, tracking your macros, or paying attention to your nutrition a little bit better, right? Those are your systems. It's a really fire podcast, you guys. Go listen to it. Episode number 2, I think. Don't hold me to that one. But today, I want to call out my beautiful people that oversee their insane progress. Okay. And really, because I'm a coach at heart, right? I still coach 5 women that I swear will never leave me. And I'm totally okay with that. I absolutely love them to death. They do the work. But also in lieu of the coaches on our team, we have upwards of 30 coaches on the WarriorBabe squad who have a full roster of clients that they work with individually, one-on-one. And I know that, myself, our coaches, we all have clients who, and this could be you, right? This is who I'm talking to, who oversee their insane progress. Okay. So you guys, my friends, listen up. This, to us as coaches, like, we see the things, we see the progress. We look back out at 6 months, we look back out at a year, we look back out at 2 years, we look out at 3 weeks, we look out at 1 week that you're doing things that you weren't doing before, but now you're doing now, right? This is an amazing accomplishment to us as coaches, right? But y'all oversee some insane progress points that you are all making, right? Many of you guys are still unfulfilled at this process, and you start tearing yourself down, right? You're 6 months in, we see the progress, but you're unhappy, right? You feel as like you're not where you're supposed to be. You then fall to the comparison of other people, which rob you of your success, right? You compare yourself, maybe you're a VIP in WarriorBabe and you're in the community and you have a small group with your coach, right? And you have friends inside of that group, which we do a really good job at. I love the fostering relationships that we have within our small groups of like-minded women. But like, maybe you're comparing yourself to like Karen's success rather than like, and where you're at in your journey, and like you feel like you're not where you're supposed to be, or like you compare yourself to people in the Facebook groups, or like maybe you're not a WarriorBabe and you are on social media and you're comparing yourself to those people's progress and those people's success. You're robbing yourself of your own success. You cannot compare your chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 10. You cannot compare your week 3 to somebody's day 573, right? And like you guys, you people that rob yourself of your own success, that you compare yourself, you feel like you're not where you're supposed to be, you feel like that you're a failure or that like you're doing things wrong, right? And at this point, this is where like me, myself as a coach, or like our coaches will like have a brutal, honest conversation. Man, I've like taken snapshots, screenshots of my clients' progress from day 1 to, day 60 and like compare them to and like show them to them. And like, clients don't normally do that, but like that's what makes a really good freaking coach. Clients don't, they upload those pictures and they don't give a fuck what those pictures look like, right? They just put them up there, they let the coach do the thing and then they forget about it. Am I right? I'm right? So it's like our duty and our job to have these brutally honest conversations with you guys. And like, let you guys know where you're at, pull the pictures, pull the data, pull the numbers, and have you guys focused on actually the progress that you are making, right? And so what happens here though, like if you feel like you're that person, you feel like I'm not where I am, I'm comparing myself to other people's success, like, right, I already said, like, don't compare your day 1 to someone's day, like, 1,000. But what's happening here is many of you are allowing your goals, outside forces like friends, like social media, to control your feelings and the thoughts about yourself. And instead of you learning how to control your own feelings and stay true to your own vision of yourself, like pulling it back and be like, okay, bring awareness into the situation. This is my day like 7, or this is my day like 68. Right. And then like what I'm actually saying to like my friends who are making incredible progress is like, okay, they're on their like day, like, or year 2, So you're allowing these guys, you're allowing them to control your journey, essentially, your feelings about how you feel about everything, instead of you just staying true to your own feelings, staying true to your own vision, staying true to your own self with the journey that you are on. Hey guys, love so much that you guys are listening to this podcast. If you ever want to have the video version of this, which usually has more effects and all of that good stuff for those of you who are visual learners, check out our YouTube channel, WarriorBabe, if that's what you like. Either way, keep enjoying the show. Like, I just want to, so many people just indulge in this comparison thinking where they measure their value based on what others are doing. Many of us do this. I personally still do this in other aspects of my life, right? So we as humans, it's just an integral part of how we are somewhat intertwined, right? But going back to fitness, it's like, I don't look the way I want to look, right? That's what you guys may be saying. You're comparison thinking. These are examples of comparison thinking. I see so many women who look amazing and I just look the same. Or others have reached, their fitness goals faster than I have. And right, like take a second. Like, can you guys like I want to be able to feel like I'm speaking directly through you, even though I'm speaking, to the camera, to the mic, but like I can see you guys in front of me right now. And honestly, can you guys admit that you guys do that, right? That like you think those things, especially to my women that are listening to this or humans that are listening to this at the beginning of their journey. Okay. And like you're in this comparison thinking process where you're comparing where you're at to like someone's future state, right? Can you honestly admit that? Because it's so important that you can honestly to yourself take responsibility that you have this type of thought process. And when you're able to take ownership and responsibility for these thoughts, then you're bringing awareness to the thoughts, my friends. And when you bring awareness to the thoughts, you can be like, okay, actually, let me take a step back here, right? But this is a problem, right? So that's the comparison thinking. But so many of you guys, right? Or when we're ever in the comparison thinking process, we are obsessed with the outcome of our goals. We are obsessed with them that we want them to happen so freaking fast. It is literally just the way that people are programmed nowadays, right? Everything happens so fast. The internet is accessible to you so fast. Wi-Fi is so fast. The way you text message people is now so fast. So this day and age, everybody expects everything to be so freaking fast. Like I joke, you've heard me say this so many times, everybody wants to put their body into a microwave and bam, out in 30 seconds pops a toned body. It ain't gonna happen like that. So the key solution here, for those of you guys who are obsessed with like the end state of where you want to be and you're trying to get there like yesterday, the key solution here is that you need to detach yourself from your goals. And I don't mean completely, listen, because I firmly believe you always want to create a mental picture of what you want your body to look like in the vision. And like I in episode 4, I think it was, I'm like, of this podcast, it's so good. It's, think back or think forward into your future state of who you want to be, the body that you want to have. What is that person doing? How is that person acting? And bring that into your reality right now. So I still love creating a mental picture of everything. So I say like to not completely detach away from it, because many people view detachment as like moving away from something, right? Like you're moving away from your goal, and like you may start doing other things that now are not in alignment with that goal, right? So here is like a new way to think about this. Detachment is being extremely close with your goals, but not letting them consume or control you. I'm going to say this again. And like, if you're driving, you're listening to this, just make mental note of what I just said. If you're listening to this and you have accessibility to write something down, write this down, because this sentence, this line can literally serve you for your entire journey. And you can look back at this and you can be like, that's right. I'm detaching from my goal in terms of like, I'm not letting it consume or control me. Detachment is being extremely close to your goals, right? Seeing it in your mind, but also being understanding of the journey that you're embarking on and knowing that it doesn't happen super fast. But in detachment, let me just say it again so you can write it down or like make mental note in your head. Detachment is being extremely close with your goals, but not letting them consume or control you. So you've got the long-term goals in mind, like, right? Like you're putting things into place right now that will compound effect in 6 to 8 months, especially if you're just starting out your journey. Like you're doing things that you didn't do 2 weeks ago and you're doing now. And if you keep doing them, they're going to compound in like 6 to 8 months. And that is when the real results will show, right? So you're detaching from that long-term thinking and pull closer to you the small goals that you can hit daily, weekly, monthly that are in alignment with that long-term goal. So the goal is still, it's very close, but like you're detaching to where it's not controlling you or consuming you. And better yet, you're focusing on the things that you can do daily right now, what you're doing, and just repeating them and being consistent with them. And there's these small things that you're doing, right? Even the systems. Like if you do go back to listen to episode number 2, I'm talking about focusing on the systems and forgetting about the goals. Like forget about the goals, focus on the systems instead. Your systems are what you do daily, weekly, and monthly that are in alignment with that long-term goal. So you're extremely close to the goal, right? You're detaching, but you're extremely close to the goal because the things that you're doing daily are leading up to that goal, but you're not letting the goal at the end totally consume or control you, right? Like you want to lose 50 pounds. Well, shit, 50 pounds ain't going to come off yesterday. But so many of you want that to happen so fast. And so you're so attached to the end state that it's controlling you and consuming you. And so you're going to be upset when you think that you're not making progress, yet however you are, and like along your journey, you won't feel fulfilled, right? Like I said at the beginning of the podcast, like there's so many of you guys that oversee your insane progress because you're so attached to losing 50 pounds that losing 10 pounds isn't satisfying or fulfilling to you. Because you're like, well, I want to lose the other 40 extremely fast, right? Is this making sense? So like, that is not that is a road to disappointment and dissatisfaction. And like, you're like hoping, like there's many of you that like hope to get to the end state and like, then you can be happy. Yo, like let's rewind here. And like, you can be happy right now. Be proud of yourself for the fact that you lost 10 pounds, right? So with this now I'm kind of talking like in terms of like, okay, right now to the end state is like a timeline. Ditch the freaking timeline. Ditch it. Throw it out the door. Again, this is an aspect of you being so attached to that end state and forgetting about the process that you are about to go on or embarking on already. Fall in love with the process. Fall in love with your journey. Fall in love with becoming the best version of yourself. Live in the moment of every single day, of every single macro track, of every single workout done, of every single bottle of water completed, right? Live in those moments. Be in control of what you can do today that will better you tomorrow. Instead of like letting that end state control the hell out of you and nothing along the way is satisfying. You just hate the process because you're like, why am I not here? Right? Many of you guys have that type of mentality when you're embarking on a new journey. And I'm saying it's completely normal. And I just want to help you understand how to detach away from that so that you can enjoy the journey that you are on. And it becomes so much more fulfilling, so much more rewarding, and so much you're giving yourself permission to be happy. Okay. So to wrap this podcast up, I told you it would be short, simple, but also to the point, that when you guys are on this journey and you're in this letting the end state control you, there's a lot of negative thought process, right? Like the things I said at the beginning of the podcast are negative thought processes, the comparison, the why am I not where I feel like I should be? And so just like, you don't master the process of walking in one day, change also doesn't happen overnight. So instead, you guys have to turn that negative thought process, whatever you're saying to yourself that is negative and not supporting you, you need to remind yourself to trust the process. I know as cliche as it sounds, but it's so true. And you need to, think about any self-sabotaging thought that you have throughout the day that is holding back your happiness and your ability to enjoy the journey you're on. Flip it into a positive, and also be attention to whatever triggers you to have these types of thoughts. Are you scrolling on social media and another person is further than you, and so you get yourself into a comparison trap? Are you stepping on the scale and the scale goes up and all of a sudden you're emotionally triggered by that because you feel like you're putting in all of the work? Pay attention to these things. Know that those things happen. They're going to happen along your journey, but you don't need to be so engulfed by them. You don't need to let them control you. You don't need to let, external circumstances or external people or environments control your thinking. You are in control of your thinking. You have the ability to control yourself and the journey that you are on and the way that you look about your journey, right? And the way you proceed every single day about your journey. So that's just the last little pillar that I wanted to add to ditch the timelines and this whole thing around detachment is whenever you feel like you're in this thought process throughout the day along your fitness journey, be aware of it, snap, bring yourself back to reality and be like, okay, I'm aware of this. This is just part of my journey and I'm just going to keep going. All right, you guys, appreciate you guys, love you, and I'll see you in the next podcast. Hey guys, real quick. If you're interested in taking your body to the next level, lose body fat, build more muscle, feel more confident, do it alongside one of our 30+ professional coaches. Work one-on-one with her to eliminate all of the guesswork that you may have, and all you need to do is just do the work that she tells you to do to get to those goals of yours. Now, to learn more, click the link below this podcast and apply to our VIP program right now.